In this lesson, we'll cover ceiling plan view ranges. So you may ask, well, what is a view range and what does it have to do with the ceiling plan? Every plan, whether it's a floor plan or ceiling plan, has a view range. And the view range controls what you see above the associated level or below the associated level of the ceiling plan. It also controls cut planes of what is hidden within that ceiling plan. For example, you probably don't want to see doors or windows within your walls in the ceiling plan. Therefore, you have a cut plane that is positioned above the doors and windows so you don't see those. Now, the view range settings are all controlled in the properties area on the left of the view in the setting for view range. So looking at the properties right now, I see the associated level for the ceiling view is level 1. So I know this is a level 1 ceiling view. To change or look at the view range, let's click Edit to the right of View Range. Now on the View Range window that opens, you have a variety of different settings. At the very top are your 3 primary range settings, top, cut plane, and bottom. Now note, 2 of these are grayed out. The top right now is the uppermost portion of the actual view range that you're looking at. So you may say, well, within the ceiling plan, what is it? Well, looking up from level 1, the top or the highest point I'm going to look at is really level 2. And my offset is 0 because it just stops right at level 2. Now the cut plane by default is associated to level 1. This again is where you actually decide what elements are not shown that are below the cut plane. So right now the offset is 2300 millimeters. That's roughly about 8 feet or a little shy of 8 feet. So anything below 8 feet will not show in this ceiling plan, i.e. your doors and windows. The bottom plane is irrelevant because you're not seeing anything below the cut plane, therefore you don't see the bottom. Now the view depth is another option at the very bottom. It will allow you to extend beyond, in this case, the top range to see elements above that level. So even though it's a depth setting, it extends beyond the top. So right now mine is set to 0, but if I said 2 feet, for example, that would allow me to see 2 feet above level 2. So as a review, what we talked about in this lesson was view ranges and how they relate to ceiling plans. We looked at the different elements of a view range, the top, the bottom, and the cut planes, and also the fourth element, the depth view. We looked at how to control the properties of a view range by going to the properties area on the left and selecting Edit to the right of view range. And then we discussed the top plane as it resides above the ceiling, how the cut plane controls what you visually see within the actual ceiling plan and what you visually don't see within the ceiling plan. And lastly, we defined the depth, where you can see an additional amount of space or distance above the top plane if you choose to set the depth.